we will operate based upon what our own city statutes are and our requirements are, and I think that's what would be.
But we know that they've trained the police to drive the buses and pick up people during riots, and we know they have the emergency center out at the old airport, the overflow center. Mm-hmm. Is that still there with the bolts and chains on the floor?
I haven't seen it since I've been here.
I mean, are you aware of that?
There's a bolts and chains where?
The little FEMA camp they've got at the old Mueller Airport.
I haven't seen it. No.
You mean
but you know what? The old airport, I think that's pretty much been torn
privatized.
Down. Yeah, they're turning.
I'll tell you what. Stay there. 1 minute break, Chief.
Okay.
Waging war on corruption. Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network.
Well, I have been interrogating him, and I'd like to give him the last 5 minutes. Austin Police Chief Art Acevedo, to talk about whatever he thinks is most important, to get out any websites or any points he's making. I would like to see other police chiefs across the country. We're on in Chicago, L.A., San Diego, Kansas City, other places. If you want to come on this show, you are welcome. We'd love to hear from you here as well, because one thing that'll fight tyranny is the people truly being involved in their government and being friends with the police, but not in a spy way, but in the way you're doing it. And so it humanizes both sides.
Well, again, and I think familiarity breeds trust and respect, and the reality is at least we know each other's positions, and we don't have to agree on everything, but we can agree to disagree.
Please don't take me to the FEMA camp.
No, we have a special lockup for you. I'm kidding. Trust me, we don't have any black helicopters following you around. I only have one helicopter, for God's sakes. I'm trying to get a second. But the reality is...
it buzzes my house daily.
That must be Tank, one of our guys with a good sense of humor. The reality is we have a great police department here in Austin. We live in a great city. Our goal, though, is that we don't want to be naive to think that things can't worsen for us in terms of crime if we don't stay on top of it. We want to be proactive. We want to be aggressive. But we want to be respectful of people's rights. And most importantly, we want to make sure that everybody's treated the same and equally that lives here. But the last thing I want to say is something I'm very proud of, make the public aware. We have now brought back our Police Activities League, which is a great program for kids. We're not going to ask them about how their parents are doing and whether they're talking about us or anything else. But we're losing about 50%, over 50% of our kids that are dropping out of high school. To me, that's the greatest threat to our
society's unraveling.
And it starts with kids not graduating from school, and we're doing our little share here. I would hope that your listeners would know that we're having a Police Activities League lockup towards the end of the month here. They can go to our website at the police department, and please support our program, support our Explorer program, where kids can learn about being police officers, what that field is like, because
they can learn how to take me to a FEMA camp.
We're not taking you to a FEMA camp. You'd be bored. You just said that the cops listen to you, and I know I've listened to you.
I'm joking.
What do we do with you? But the reality is, we have got to invest in kids, Alex. You know that the kids are our future. We've got a lot of kids that their parents are working, that nobody's ever around, they have no adult supervision, and the Austin Police Department, through our Explorer program and our Police Activities League, we want to make a difference in kids' lives, and I hope your listeners will contact us to help donate funds and, more importantly, maybe even help volunteer.
And then, so you want my listeners, basically, they'll be spying on you, you know that, to come in and get involved with the department.
Hey, look, we have nothing to hide.
Well, I'll say this. That is the answer to take this government back. We have 60%, on average, people coming out for presidential elections, but 8% local elections nationally on average. Yeah. We need to get that up to 80% locally, and if good people get involved in government, we're going to end up having the police chiefs and the mayors and the sheriffs, and then it's going to be our government. We have handed over our responsibility, turned it over to the feds, and I've told the listeners that is the responsibility. If the people get involved and you know you're a good person, then that'll block the control freaks that are trying to get involved in government. We've let all the control freaks take over the government.
You're starting to talk Texas there for a minute with letting. But look, just to know this.
Fixing.
Yeah, fixing. We're going to fix things. Just remember one thing. This is my perspective about my role. Ultimately, no matter whatever happens in this city that impacts public safety, the federal government isn't going to answer to that. The state isn't going to answer to that. The chief of police of Austin, Texas, is going to answer to Austinites because I work for them, and there is no excuse. We have to stay on top of issues. But know this, we are here to serve. We have nothing to hide. We're a transparent organization, and we're not afraid to answer the tough questions.
Well, I have said this. Things have changed since you've been here. We're seeing changes everywhere.
No.
But I just want you to realize those governing the federal government do not have the same altruistic goals of you. I will assure you. I mean, look at all the chemical and biological, radiological testing they've done on the American people. Do you know about Tuskegee and all that?
Yeah, I'm not worried.
I mean, the point is, let's stop completely trusting government as well. Let's get involved in government. I want to skip this 3-minute break, so we have 3 more minutes with the chief for PrisonPlanet.tv viewers, Infowars.com listeners. Well, we're going to go ahead and go live during the break. For the AM and FM affiliates, we say bye to Chief Art Acevedo. Right now, we'll be back with Pastor Chuck Baldwin running for president of the Constitution Party on the other side of this break. But for those behind the scenes, we'll have 3 minutes left with Art Acevedo, the Austin police chief, who certainly is changing things. Okay.
On September 11th, 2001.
I'm going to go ahead and go back to the chief now, John. Thank you. We're going to continue here with the 3 minutes we've got. I want to thank you for coming in.
Hey, no problem. It was really, really fun to meet you.
Can I have you back in every few months?
Absolutely.
Okay,
yeah.
great.
Yeah, absolutely.
And again, this Sunday, 4 to 6 p.m., we're going to be re-airing this on the syndicated show we do at KLBJ. Okay. In the time we've got to close, I just want to pick your brain about this, because I looked it up and found out that police are dialing into Nexus Lexus databases and these threat databases. My dad, I sold him one of my cars. Okay. And he was driving back from our East Texas ranch a few weeks ago at night at about 10 o'clock. He gets pulled over, and the cops wait back, and they come over, and they say, "You're not Alex Jones." And they said, this came up as handled with care. And I'd heard 2 legislatures ago, 4 years ago, that, quote, they wanted a database of you'd said things about police, what your view was of police. The legislature almost passed that. A, were you aware of stuff like that? And B, do you know what database I'm in?
I've been a cop for, I've been a cop for 22 years. I'll be real honest with you. I have never had a database that, I haven't encountered that database yet. I mean, does it exist? To my knowledge, it doesn't. But the reality is, we here in Austin, our activists are actually pretty peaceful activists. I don't think that anybody's ever died from words, unless you've incited riots or something, getting people to kill people. But
we don't want that.
We definitely don't want that. And I don't know if you know this, but our crowd control team they're
the Darth Vader outfit?
The Darth Vader outfits. Just remember, if it looks tough, and at least we can get people to demonstrate, exercise their First Amendment rights without getting violent, I think we've won. I mean, their organizational model is protect the first, and we believe that.
Well, I will tell you this: we know you have intelligence units. About 7-8 years ago, they were having the big meeting for the Forbes Fortune 500 here in town at the Four Seasons. We were down at the Capitol for the protest, and there were big cops dressed up like anarchists stirring up trouble. Are you going to have any provocateuring here while you're here?
No. We look, my job is to protect people. Here's what I just want you to keep an eye on.
So you're changing those things.
Well, listen.
You know you got provocateurs.
If I catch them, they won't be cops much longer. Well, I mean, the reality is this.
Fidel did stuff like that.
Well, yeah, he did. I hope the guy's dead. I'm hoping. I wake up every morning. That's what, as a Cuban, the first thing is he died yet?
They say he's holding on by his toenails.
Oh, I think they have. Remember Weekend at Bernie's? I think that's the character. I think he's been dead for about a year. Hopefully he is. But the reality is, our primary focus and mission when we're trying to find out what's going on with a demonstration is not to stop the demonstration. It's not to prohibit you or get in your way from exercising your First Amendment rights. It's to make sure we don't have somebody come in, get in the middle of a bunch of peaceful protesters, and next thing you know, they start throwing things at the cops and things get ugly.
Hold on. We're coming back to the main transmission. We'll close it out here. Do you have Baldwin?
He's all set.
Okay, I want you to play a 3-minute CNN clip about the vaccines killing kids so I can say bye to the chief. Here we go.
Okay.
Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
Okay, I'm going to say bye to Police Chief of Austin, Texas, Art Acevedo. We were just talking about police and provocateur actions, which have now been confirmed. Mainstream news in Canada, in Seattle, they hired police. They had feds dressed up like anarchists attack police. The cops didn't know to then stage that event. He's saying he's not going to have that in Austin. Just know the Fed boys are masters of that. And again, we just want to thank you for your honesty and your time. And I don't want to take any more of your time, so you know that next time you come in, I won't twist your arm into 50 minutes again. But thank you, sir.
Hey, my pleasure. And if you need anything, you have any questions, give us a call.
Thank you. That is the Austin Police Chief leaving us.